All right, looks like we are live. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Sorry I had to go a little later tonight. Of course, it's only, just before 7 my time, but it is late night on the East Coast. I know it's just before 11. Excuse all the background noise. My basement area is underneath the living room, and it's hardwood floors, and that's my little buddy, 1-year-old, now 1-year-old, throwing all his toys around and, not controlling his body. You know what 1-year-olds do. So excuse all the background noise. Thanks for all the support during my channel demonetization. I've told all my Patreon members first that I got remonetized to the T. Every single one of them said they would still keep helping the channel. So that's what kind of great people we have here. So I really, really appreciate that, guys. I do have links on my MeWe page, so make sure you go to my MeWe page. Brownies, if you could put that in my in the chat, or well, the link to my MeWe page. So make sure you're doing the MeWe thing. Let's see who we got in here first. We got Brownies, Grizzly Crazy, a Cavator. Hello. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. 67 Rebel, SSTAMC. Good evening. Very good. Bruce Magruder. Hey there. How's it going? A while since I've seen you on here. Good to see you. Gabe McNeil is here. What's up, guys? All right, so we got 11, 13 people in the chat so far. I don't know you're here if you don't say anything. Dan O'Neill, a longtime supporter, a Patreon supporter. Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate all you do for the channel. And Dan comments on both my channels. So David W. made it. Good. Good. I'm glad to see you made it. So a lot to talk about tonight with like the demonetization thing. So just wanted everybody to know. I'm not going to monetize this video in particular simply because I'm talking about the links and stuff that I have. We have a link with Palmetto State. We have a link with Aero Precision. We have a link with Blackbeard Fire Starters and Blackhound Optics. We have a link with CreedmoreSports.com, like Creedmore sportsstore.com or creedmorestore.com. So it's in there. We got all sorts of links. So make sure you check those out. They're on my MeWe page, YouTube. They are not on Facebook. They are not on YouTube. They are on my MeWe page. You do have to go check those out. You have to go over there to MeWe and make a profile, join the Alaska Ballistics group. It's in a group, and you can do that there. Red Hawk 44, first time watching. I like your name. Red Hawk 44 is probably one of the best guns to carry in bear country. I'm a 10mm guy myself, but there's nothing wrong with a good Red Hawk 44. If you can shoot it more accurately, go ahead. From Ontario, love your comparison test fires. Thanks, man. All right. Wish you could have more good gun-free laws there in Canada, but I'm glad that you like my test comparison fires. Please share them because YouTube's not sharing them right now. Last year, this time, if I put up a ballistics test where I compared two calibers, bam, 100,000 views. This year, 5,000 views. So YouTube's not sharing them, and I'm calling them out on that. So any of you YouTube moderators that are watching, I know what you're doing. I'm calling you out. So there is that. All right. So anyway, go to our MeWe page, check out the links, Blackhound Optics as well. But you have to go to the MeWe page. They can't be on the Facebook at all. Dylan Lattimore, what's up, man? Good to see you. All right. So I just want to say thank you more than anything for all the support for the channel when I had a week of demonetization. I think Clover Tack and a call from my senator got me back on track. Dan Sullivan of Alaska has actually been a pretty good senator for me personally. He's worked on stuff. So I really like him. So there we go. I also have a Glock 20 and a Super Red Hawk Alaskan. There you go. So you're covered in any way you got it. Yeah, covered any way you got it right there. What do you think about the 416 Ruger? I personally don't have an opinion because I haven't shot him. Grizzly Crazy probably has one. He's here in the chat. So, but I think it's a great cartridge. Yeah. I really like the 375 Ruger. I really, really like the 375 Ruger. So, definitely a great rifle. But I just don't, I haven't shot the 416 Ruger. There's plenty of ammo for it around here. You can find ammo for it at like Alaskan Ammo and Sportsman's and all those places. So, all right. Y'all sub to Chuck's music channel. Yeah, do that. I have a music channel. Here, I'll put the link in the chat because I am right here on the link right already. If y'all would do that, that would help me. That would definitely help me on the demonetization thing if they do it again. If you sub to my music channel, that would absolutely help me because then we can do that. Is 243 nozzle with nozzle partition a moose gun? Absolutely, yeah, sure. Would it be my first choice? Absolutely not. I want more penetration than a 243 tends to get, but it should do the job. I wouldn't actually hit the shoulder bone if I were you. I'd hit just behind it. You got to make a precise shot or shoot it through the neck. That's that. Greetings from New Jersey, El Cabrera, or Cabrera, excuse me. Yeah, the good. Sorry, I can't get the MeWe link. Good. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. We found 308 hunting rounds at Cabela's. They also had 223, 556, and 65 Creedmoor. Cool. What kind of hunting rounds did you have? And are you in Anchorage? Okay, he says in Anchorage. Yeah, they just got a shipment in today. So that's good. Yeah. What's good ammo for the G20? I just moved to the Montana. All right. So if you're not going to rebarrel it where it can safely shoot hardcast all the time, then I would say you go Underwood Extreme Penetrators or Buffalo Bore Dangerous Game. I've got multiple videos on both of those, or multiple videos on the Extreme Penetrators. If you're going to rebarrel it and put a KKM barrel with the feed ramp modification, just go to kkm.com. It'll take you 10 weeks to get the barrel, but because they make each one custom. If you do that, you can even get a little 5-inch or even 5.5 where it sticks out a little bit and threaded and all that kind of stuff. But I would do that. Then you can shoot the hard cast safely without it gunking up your chamber too much. And I would definitely say, Extreme Penetrators are good. Buffalo Bore Dangerous Game are good. Just your regular SIG flat nose full metal jackets are do good as well. So there's that. All right. And they had more ammo. Good. Howdy from South Central Missouri. Tim Allen's good to see you. Yep, they were Remington. Okay. No experience with the 500 JRH. I know I've seen one, but that's about it. No experience. We got Rob from Cherry City Guns and Outdoors here. Did I say Guns and Ammo? Did I say it again the wrong way? I did.
Yeah.
Guns and Ammo. All right.
Right.
You'd think after like 17 weeks of talking to you, I'd know what they were. Anyway, what's going on, Rob?
Give me just 1 second to get my AirPods to pair up here.
Sure, absolutely. All right. So anyway, all right, they were Remington. Yeah. Hardcast or Extreme Penetrators. I've done a video on the subject. Extreme Penetrators seem to perform a little bit better after going through a hard barrier, but it's a toss-up. I carry the first round is Extreme Penetrator. The second round is Hardcast, Extreme Penetrator, Hardcast, and the rest are Hardcast because the Hardcast is cheaper. The Underwood 200 grain Hardcast is like $20 less. So there is that. Yeah. Remington Full Metal Jacket. Yeah. Cool. All right.
All right, I'm back.
Cool. What's going on with you, Rob?
Oh, not a lot. Working a lot of hours. I'm day shift for a while, but it's long hours.
Yeah.
And we've had unbearable heat. We got hit by a crazy heat wave. It was 117 on Monday.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
We don't see stuff like that in the Pacific Northwest.
No, you don't. That's really unusual. You don't even see that in California. 117.
Yeah. We usually only have maybe half a dozen, maybe a little bit more days above 90 throughout the summer.
Yeah.
So 117 is a hard pill to swallow for us. Actually, it was an all-time record.
Yeah, I would imagine that it was. Like 2 years ago when Courtney and I got married, it was the hottest day of the year. It was 94 degrees in Anchorage, and that was a record. And yeah, and we had an outdoor wedding, of course. It was so hot the mosquitoes didn't bother us that much. But right in the middle of the ceremony, I slapped a mosquito right in my face, and it fell on her dress right below her cleavage. And I started to glean, and she goes, "Don't touch it." Yeah. So 126 here in Death Valley.
Yeah, that's why I don't live in Death Valley.
Yeah, seriously. Big Al, what's up? Timmy BMM, good supporter of the channel, great guy, and he has his own channel. Go subscribe to him, check him out. I hate making shooting decisions on ammo price and availability, but reality is reality. It's very true. Right now, I don't mind buying cheap Remington or whatever because I'll just use the brass to reload because I got plenty of stuff to reload. I don't even really need to buy more reloading supplies except for Reloader 22 powder and H110 powder or another powder I could use for 44 mag. But
little gun's my favorite.
Can you use tight group for 44 mag?
Maybe for some really like light reduced recoil loads, maybe. I don't remember from looking in the book. But my favorite Magnum powder, 357, 44, 41, 500 mag is little gun, but I have used a lot of pounds H110 and W296 over the years.
Okay. Excuse me. All right. Heat wave over there. It's high 80s for high in East Texas. It's paradise down here. The earth off the axis. That's a good point. Maybe that 23 degrees tilt is like 23.75 right now, and it only takes like 0.5 degrees to make a difference in that. That so
crazy
the tilt. So at least we're not tilted like Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what did the Starship Enterprise and a roll of toilet paper have in common?
They both fight Klingons.
Yeah, they both fly
Something
around
like
Uranus fighting Klingons. Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
When I was teaching my kids in school the planets this year, I told them it's called Uranus. It's called Uranus. And then they saw a song that said Uranus, and they're like, "Oh, Uranus!" I'm like, "You're in third grade, All right. All right, James. Hello, AB from New Jersey. Starting to see ammo, dribs, and drabs, but better than nothing. God bless America. The right to keep in my arms should not be a friend. Amen, man. Hope you get more than dribs and drabs. I hope the flow keeps going there. Okay. I'm really worried about hunting season up here. There are going to be people that freak out that there's not enough hunting ammo up here. So I might start selling hand loads at that point.
That's kind of what I've been thinking about.
Mosquitoes to get you in Alaska? Yeah, they do. Mosquitoes are the freaking state bird here. Mosquitoes will carry you off. They love it here. I don't know what about it is, but mosquitoes are way worse here than they were in Mississippi or Georgia. And they were bad there, but it's not even close. Mississippi, Georgia are like 1% of 1% of what Alaska is in mosquitoes. And we got black flies and biting flies and stuff like that. So what's the good third option for bear hunting? Caliac J. So your first option is like what? Your rifle, and then you're talking about like a handgun across your chest and like another one on your hip as like a third option for like bear defense if you get a wounded, or are you talking about having 3 different rifles? To be honest with you, if you're just black bear hunting, hunt with whatever you would hunt deer or caribou with, just to make sure you have a solid bullet that expands well. All right, Barnes LRX, Nosler Accubon long range, Nosler Partition, Barnes TTSX, Hornady GMX out to 300 or 400 yards. But yeah, that's the main thing. So that's that. So yeah, I need you to clarify your question more. What do you mean by third option? Like a third gun to have on you, or like 3 different rifles? That's that.
He actually put it down there at the bottom. He said third option for hip.
Oh, for hip?
Yeah.
Well, it depend. That to me would depend on what's on your chest. When I carry my 45 Super, my 357 Magnum is on my hip. And the reason why my 357 Magnum is on my hip and not my 44 Magnum is because I got a good holster from Just In Case Holsters, discount code Alaskan, although I don't really get anything from that. But Just In Case Holsters. I have that good holster that's there, right? And, it's beautiful, gorgeous black leather holster with orange stitching that he did for me. Just a gorgeous holster. And so I have a good holster. I need to get a good holster for my 44. But my revolver, if I have my 45 Super, my revolver is my third gun. If I have my 10 millimeter, my Glock 40 that my wife pretty much has appropriated, if I have that, then my Glock 29 is my third gun. so that I have magazine interchangeability. But since I don't have a smaller 45 Super with magazine change ability, I should convert my Glock 30 to do it. I just haven't. But since I don't have that, you know, that's that. So I would say, you know, that's what I do. Everybody's different. You know, you have your hunting rifle, whatever your rifle you decide to hunt with. Any rifle 243 and up, with the proper ammo, is going to give you more kinetic energy than 44 Magnum. So you might as well make sure you know what you're doing with your rifle first. Make sure you can throw it up and bolts. So if you can't do that, not a good rifle to hunt with. Might try something else or try to get better. Which is hard to do right now with, you know, the ammo crisis. Let's see. There's Timmy channel. Go check out Timmy BMM, Bravo Mike November. That's that. Mr. FMH is here. I sent you a link on Instagram if you want to join in. Yeah, brownies, you're too kind. He was told to do it. Uranus is the blood of the solar. Uranus is the blood of solar system jokes. Yeah. That's a dad joke if I ever heard one. What do you call a bulletproof Irishman? You know, Cherry City?
Not a clue.
Rick O'Shea. That's bad, isn't it? Rick O'Shea.
That was a groaner.
Right. Yeah. That's one that kicks me every time. What do you call a Tyrannosaurus Rex that tries to sell you guns and knives on the street?
Not a clue.
A small arms dealer. All right.
Small arms dealer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of it right as you're saying it.
Yeah. Mississippi has mosquitoes that can breed a hummingbird. Still no comparison to a buffalo con. Yeah, I'm telling you, I lived in Mississippi on the river in Greenville. Mississippi doesn't even compare here. All right. I understand, but there it is. It's been 72 degrees here in Albuquerque. We traded you. There you go.
Kick that guy out of the chat.
Did you get your Lone Wolf 9-inch 10mm barrel from Lone Wolf? Yes, I did. I got this effective one. Yeah, I've tested it, and I've done several videos on it since then. Not several, two videos on it since then. No, I've done. It's got 3 videos. So maybe I'll go and make it all a playlist so you can find it. But they sent it to me. It's fixed. I've got 2 or 3 or 4 videos on it now, man. So yeah, I did a video where it was fixed. I did a video with some different ammo. Look up 1900 feet per second 10mm. Look that up, okay? And if you just search that on YouTube, you should find it. I did a video with Chook with the Extreme Hunters out of it. So I've done 3 videos since it was fixed, I think. And I plan on, now that I've got a box of 60 grain Liberty Defense, the 60 grain 10mm, plan on doing some of that and comparing it to 60 grain 5.56 in a short AR. So that's that. Leonard, what's up, man? How you doing? Good. All right. Yeah, I saw online.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, cheaper than dirt that was selling 9mm at like 2 rounds for $1 or something like that, or a buck a round. A buddy of mine told me today that he ordered 3 boxes of 44 mag from Cheaper Than Dirt today for $40-something a box. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's like pre-pandemic prices.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even find 44 mag up here. I can barely find the components to reload. I can't even find the powder. Yeah, cool thing is I got a 50 BMG and those prices barely moved. Yeah, even up here I can find 50 BMG for normal prices. Some of that Hornady stuff with the aluminum tip, which shatters on impact. It doesn't actually penetrate a lot of stuff. It shatters. That stuff moved a little bit in price up here. moved from like $79.99 a box to like $89.99 a box or $94 depending on where you go. But still, it's better than 50-cent 9mm or 75-cent 9mm. That's for sure. Because it's a 50 BMG.
I just bought 2 boxes of 50 BMG ammo.
Cool. You got a 50 BMG?
Did you hear me there, Chuck?
Yeah, I heard you.
No, I bought 2 boxes of 50 BMG ammo. A friend of mine bought an M82A1.
Nice.
And I'm going to go make a video with it. But I had to go buy ammo.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, because I carry my Glock 20 Extreme Hunters in my chest rig and was debating on G29 or 44 mag for my hip. If you've run out of your Glock 20s or it's knocked out of your hand by the bear's claw, your third gun isn't going to really matter too much. I mean, you're going to be putting rounds that can penetrate right through the jaw, and you're going to have to try to crawl out from underneath that thing. Good luck. I personally would rather have the 44 mag in that, but if you have a G20, a G29, you know, it's a good loadout, you know.
Hey, I've got a question for you there, Chuck.
Yeah.
I haven't chronographed it, but I've looked at some numbers that I've seen online, and I'm sure you've tested it. With Glock 29, how honestly, how much point is there in carrying a Glock 29 because of the incredibly reduced velocity in the 10mm out of that barrel, where it's almost more like a 40? Like how much faster is it going to shoot out of a 10mm versus a 40 in a regular length barrel?
I have done a video on this. The ammo we were using was the 200 grain high-tech coated hard cast from Underwood for both the 40 Smith & Wesson and the Glock 29. Okay, and we shot it in my SIG P239, which was a 3.7 inch or 3.6 inch barrel, and we shot the 10mm out of the Glock 29, which was a 3.7 inch barrel, right? Then we shot 40 out of my buddy's 5.5 inch XDM, and then we shot 40 out of my 10mm Glock 40 with the KKM barrel, which you should not do very often because of the extractor issue, right? Or because it headspace is on the extractor. All right. So I'm not saying you should do this, but I did it. All right. A few rounds isn't going to hurt now and then usually, unless you have an overpressured 40 round, right? Which happens. That happened to me. I had a Glock 23 blow up. It does happen. That being said, all right, the 40 out of the 6.5 inch KKM barrel. Now, granted, it probably doesn't have as tight a chamber fit as an actual 40 chamber, right? But the 40 out of that gun, the 6.61 inch barrel, shot slower than the Glock 29 10mm. So I don't remember the numbers, but the 40 never made it up above 1,100 feet per second, even out of the long barrels. It was rated at 1,000 feet per second with the 200 grain bullet, right? And the 10mm with the 200 grain still shot above 1,100 feet per second. So I would say there's at least a 75 feet per second difference in a long barrel 40 versus a short barrel 10mm with full power 10mm loads and full power 40 loads. I have that video. It's out there somewhere. If y'all are interested, Brownies can put it in the chat. It's a good video. It didn't do as well as I expected it to do because Paul Harrell has one with like 1.5 million views. It's got like 35,000 views. It's not bad. 37,000 views, something like that. And it's a good. They both penetrated the same. So that was what surprised me. The 10mm is going fast enough that it deforms a little bit more, and therefore spreads its energy. And they both penetrated the dinner plate and 4 water jugs, right? So, if you're carrying the 40 with the hard cast ammo, as far as penetration concerned, there's not hardly any difference, right? But I would definitely say that it is definitely worth it to carry a Glock 29 over the same length barrel 40 or even a little bit longer barrel 40. So call me crazy, but with
Okay.
full power
Good
10
info.
millimeter.
Good info.
Yeah. Now, if you just go buy Winchester white box off the shelf or some type of Remington hollow point, there's probably no difference. Okay.
Okay.
But if you buy full power Buffalo Bore, Underwood, double tap if they're actually making ammo and shipping it, they're a horrible way to do business. They make it after you order it, and it's like 18 weeks back behind right now.
Jeez.
So anyway, carry extra mags and not a third gun. Yeah, your fastest reload is another gun. You know, there is people that go by that expression. So yeah, okay, there you go, Timmy. Yeah, I did move a little bit. So yep, best all around 4570. Wife and I want one. We might be moving up to Alaska with some of her family. Oh, nice. Well, welcome if you move. And I like the Henry X model. I like the Henry X. There's no safety push button. The quality is better than the Marlins has been under Remington. I'm sure. So that would be mine. I like the Henry X. The stock is a little long, and it had some issues with the sights. I do have a review on mine, but I love the gun. It levers smoothly. It handles all the hot stuff that the Marlin can handle. So I like the Henry X model. And the reason why I like the X is it's already threaded, and you can put that Ranger Point Precision muzzle brake. Again, I also have a video on that, and that thing really reduced the recoil. Like the felt recoil was amazingly different. Like my wife is afraid to shoot that gun. I don't think she would be now. She hasn't shot it yet, but I don't think she would be now. So there is that. What do you think? Best overall 4570, Rob? What do you think?
I would probably say the same. I'd probably go with the Henry X.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, for a straight up hunting rifle.
Yeah. Yeah, Rod Spomer had a good video on the 35 Wayland. So
you can't go wrong with a Marlin either. You know, the Marlins are solid built guns.
Yeah. There you go. Moscow today was 106. Today in Texas it was 88. That's back asswards right there. So Hey Chuck, what's your thoughts on binoculars for hunting? What would be a good option for my $300 budget? I'm not too good with optics. I'd say anything Leupold in that budget range. I have $99 Leupolds. I don't even carry binoculars much anymore. I just use my rangefinder and my scope. I don't deal with the weight of binoculars. So I really just deal with my rangefinder and my scope. 7X is plenty for scouting, for what I do. Now I might this year because I'll be able to shoot a moose and a caribou at the same time. And so I want to make sure the moose is legal. So I might go with like 12X binoculars. But that's that. So, but anything Leupold, Nikon makes decent binoculars too. I've had a lot of Vortex binoculars returned. What do you think? When I was working customer service, what do you think, Rob? Best binoculars.
You know, I personally am a real big fan of Vortex. I like the Vortex brand a lot. If you could bump up your budget by about $100, you can get into some really nice Zeiss. I've got a really nice pair of Zeiss binoculars I absolutely love. You can't go wrong with Leupold. I mean, I kind of grew up with Leupold. They're from the same state I am. I'm an hour from the factory. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of them.
Yeah, I'm a Leupold fan. And the binoculars I saw that were returned by Vortex, people were just a little bit concerned about blurriness around the edges. That overall they were fine. They were showing it to me, and we were looking outside, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do see a little bit of blurriness. Yeah, we'll return them. You know, just being, but like a lot of them were being really nitpicky. But I did see a lot of Vortex scopes and optics returned. And I've got one scope that I need to start sending back to Vortex because it stinks. So there's that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of Vortex, and I've been happy with every single one I've ever had.
Yeah. If you talk to any dealer around here that sells Vortex, they'll tell you there's been a lot of them shipped back.
Interesting.
You know, they have to me, they're a lot like a Kia car or a Taurus. Most of them work. Most of them are good guns. Most of them are good. But when you have that one, you know, It is what it is. And I'm the guy that has that one. I'm the guy that had the Glock blow up. I'm the guy that has Tauruses that I pull them out of the counter and they don't work. Worked fine when somebody else touched them. I'm bad luck with guns. All right. If you want your gun to work, don't let you touch it, you know? But yeah, like I'm that guy. So like I would say, you know, spend the money on Leupold. I have a $99 pair of Leupold. I don't even know where they're at since our move. I really have no clue. And they've done great so far. So hopefully I find them before hunting season. Otherwise, I might have to get. You know. Here in Alaska, I'd say no more than 8 or 10x. Even though you really are searching long ways, it is better than trying to find things in like 15x binoculars. I'm tell you what though, we live right in the valley. There's a mountain to our south side, and the north is just plain. What I really want to see is I just want to take my binoculars and like take the app on my phone and go, there's Saturn. I want to look with your binoculars at Saturn. They say before you buy a telescope, just use binoculars and see if you can see it. Like it's not going to be clear like a telescope is, but yeah, there's a lot of space channels that sell that. Fraser Kane is one space channel I watch who says that. So he's a good channel. So he tells everybody before you buy a telescope, go get you a pair of 15x astronomical binoculars. And they're made for like really long parallax, obviously. But they have that infinite parallax setting that you have on your side of your rifle scope. That's what they're made at for astronomical binoculars. But and you can definitely get those under $300. They're like 100, 120. I've been looking at them, but it would be cool. All right, I was thinking about converting my G30 to 45 Super. The recoil will be gnarly, though. Yeah, the recoil. Yeah, but it's not like 44 Magnum short barrel gnarly or 357 Magnum short barrel gnarly. It's not that bad. It'll be about like 10 millimeter Glock 29. If you want to do that, go shoot a 10 millimeter Glock 29. They're going to be about the same. 45 Super is going to be a little more. Here. They'll be about the same. 10 millimeter is the best millimeter for me. 10 millimeter is the best. Y'all haven't seen my 10 millimeter song video, go look at that. Let's see. All right. What do you think? Would you convert a G30 to 45 Super?
No.
Yeah. The issue is the magazine. I don't know if honestly, you can find.
If I was going to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
In a small, compact, short gripped, concealed carry sized gun, I wouldn't convert it to a 45 Super. Maybe a full frame 45 Auto would I convert to 45 Super, but not a concealed carry sized gun.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. Is I got a Glock 29. I don't need to convert my Glock 30. If my wife is hiking with me, she's carrying the G40, so I'm carrying the G29. Like that's what it is, you know. And I need to get a G20 so I don't have to keep borrowing troops. But I just don't want to pay the $650 when they were like $575 before the crunch. I'm cheap.
Right.
And the story I'm writing that takes place in Alaska, one of my characters carries a Rock Island Armory Pro Ultramax 1911 10 millimeter and a 454 Desul Matiba Unica. It's out of choices, but it's to show that she's a gun nut. Well, if she were really a gun nut, the Rock Island Armory, she would have to get sent back to the factory a few times to get it working correctly, like a lot of people do. So I'm just saying.
I would say that's a very mismatched set of guns. You've got a pretty high-end, nice revolver with one of the less reliable, less accurate, loose, sloppy fit-up 1911s you can get.
Absolutely. I would say change that over to a Dan Wesson Bruin. What do you think?
Ooh, yeah. Good call.
Change that over to a Dan Wesson Bruin. And then I will buy the book and read the first chapter on the live stream or part of the first chapter so you can sell it, Just a Tool. But you have to change it to a Dan Wesson Bruin. No shitty guns and books. All right? Excuse my language, but now that being said, a lot of people have Rock Island Armory. Yeah, there's a little thing on the on the Word document where you can go replace all, and it'll replace every one of those terms on a Word document on computer with the new term. You don't have to go back through and do every single one of them. So that's that.
Yeah.
There you go. The 1911 has a custom 9-inch barrel. Madiba has a 10-inch barrel. Yeah, you would no one here would carry a 1911 with a custom 9-inch barrel. It's too long to get out of the holster. You'd rather actually go shorter than long. You'd rather go shorter than 6 inches than longer than 6 inches here. I have the 9-inch barrel in my Glock videos, but that's a novelty. That's something my Patreon money was able to buy me. So very good.
More of like a range gun.
Yeah, definitely. Our most watched video had 40,000 views, then dropped to 30,000 views. How do you lose views? That's a good question. That's a good question.
Sounds like some YouTube shenanigans right there.
Absolutely. Have you contacted their help button? So one thing they do is they go through and try to purge dummy accounts. So they do go through and try to purge dummy accounts. So there's that.
That's true.
Which video? I was distracted. I think it was the 10mm versus 40 Smith & Wesson video for Wood's defense. I think that's the one that I was telling Rob about. Also, the 9-inch 10mm videos. Any one of those you can do. Vortex is okay. I had a Vortex Crossfire. It worked, but I like Leupold. I'm just not doing everything optics. I've used optics for only 3 years now. There
Honestly, you chose one of the worst Vortexes that there are. I mean, one of the cheapest, lowest end ones. I would definitely say Vortex Crossfire is not going to compare to any Leupold.
Ian, you're welcome. Very good. And Pat RMG, Mr. Real Man of Genius, Mr. Technical Lever Action Guy. Gosh, I've downloaded the karaoke track for that. I gotta just sit down and write the lyrics for that. All right. Will you help me make fun of Pat in that, Rob?
Possibly.
Possibly. All right.
Possibly.
Well, we might make fun of Pat and Chook. Mr. Technical Lever Action Guy, you have an assault rifle from the 1890s. If the Buffalo are here, they need assaulted. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Also, breaks are great for the shooter, but not so much for people on the side. I don't think you care if you're in a grizzly bear charge situation. And that's the thing about the Henry X. Yeah, you're right at the range. There you go. 1 full centimeter. Yeah. Yeah. Bushnell's actually got some decent optics in the price range. They're not known for durability compared to Leupold or Vortex, but they've gotten better. So Razor HDs are the way to go. Yeah. Next to VX5, nice. VX6.
Those are very
HDs.
nice.
I'd much rather have that. But all my Taurus guns work good for me. Go play the lottery. They're junk. So, yeah. I know a lot of people have them good. I've seen so many of them just fail. There's so many stories of them failing. I've seen G3s not feed hollow points.
Any of the newer ones?
G3s. The new G3s. G3Cs not feed hollow points.
Interesting.
Yeah, Ryder's Range had a video on it the other day. He couldn't get it to feed the first hollow point on one of them. Once he got it in the chamber, it ran fine.
Weird.
But wider hollow points, they don't feed, like 147s and stuff. And then, and really, in a shorter barrel, that's what you want to use, a 147. Kind of get that penetration. Yeah. And then last year in the counter at Cabela's, I had 6 Taurus Judges and 1 44 Magnum tracker, okay, that you could close the cylinder and sit there and spin it, and it wouldn't lock for like 5 minutes. Eventually, it would hit the right thing and lock. And that, I mean, those are just the recent ones. So that, yeah, that's what I would do. I've got the cheapest Leupold binoculars, and they're fine. So They're made in China, though. They weren't made in the U.S. They said made in China, though. So, tell us true Chuck best carry gun for bear. 4570. You carry 4570. I've said it so many times. It's not even close. All right. I actually sent mags for the G2C test, and Kentucky Patriot had one that worked really well. Zero failures, 1,000 rounds as fast as he could on video. I sent him mags for that video. Yeah. And that's a good video. And y'all go check it out. Brownies, if you want to put that video in there. And I think he sent 1,000 rounds, and it was different stuff. They were Federal HST. Now, there were no heavy plus Ps in that video, or plus P plus. So, if I'm not mistaken. So, FNX would be my choice for 45 Super. Chuck, I mean, autocorrect. Yeah, you said chicken here. All right. What were you thinking? All right. Yep, autocorrect. You're thinking about, that was a Freudian slip. You're thinking about chicks again. So, I'm just kidding with you. Oh, we have 1,000 round video and my pistol's still running good. Good. I'm glad. If you have a Taurus and it works, I'm happy for you. I would never buy a Taurus and trust my life to. Right? So. We have a Lego contest before bed. Checking out. See y'all later. All right, man. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Glad you joined us. Send your RIA to Hayes Customs, and he will make it right. Cody, how's it going? I hadn't seen you in the chat before, or hadn't seen you recently. Let's go. What do you got? What are your thoughts about autoloader reliability when dirty versus revolver? It's nice to pull the trigger and cycle for the next round instead of jam, but if you fall in dirt, autoloader has a better chance of going bang. Yeah, you are going to fall in dirt and water and stuff in Alaska. I mean, you're going to trip if you go out long enough and you're clumsy enough like me. So, to be honest with you, that's why I carry one of both a lot of times. I mean, the reliability of the revolver is great, and if the bear's right on you and you literally are putting it in the guts, you don't have to worry about the slide being pushed back. So there's that. But it is what it is. I'd say I go autoloader because I shoot them better. It's not more about what's reliable and what's safer and what I can get mud in and what I can't. I shoot autoloaders better. Okay? I can draw them faster. I can get rounds on target, and they're going to hit the target faster. And that's what counts in a bear charge. 90% of it is, bullet placement, and 9% of it is bullet type, projectile, and 1% of it is how much power you have. Because you're never going to out foot-pounds of energy a brown bear. It's not going to happen. 50 BMG doesn't get what a brown bear gets. Okay? That brown bear might be going only 40 miles an hour, which is slow compared to a 50 BMG bullet, but he's got a heck of a lot more mass, and he's carrying, an 800-pound brown bear at 25 miles an hour. I've said this billions of times, carries 16,000 foot-pounds of energy, 16.7 or something like that, which is about 4,000 more than the most powerful 50 BMG load. So you're never going to out foot-pounds of energy, and just physically stop like a Mack truck hitting a brick wall. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to be the immovable object hitting a unstoppable force. That's not going to happen. So that's that. What do you think, Rob? What do you think? Reliability autoloader versus dirty revolver.
I really don't think you can beat a revolver for reliability.
No.
They're much more likely to go bang every time you pull the trigger. I think you'd have to fall in some really heavy dirt and really be mashing it in there before you would see a revolver not work properly.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, absolute reliability, revolver all the way.
Absolutely, yeah. If that's the only factor, I totally agree. Revolver all the way.
Yes.
But I shoot autoloaders better, so that's not the only factor for me.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
If you shoot revolvers better, you better be carrying a revolver, hands down. You heard me say it. Yeah, a view is a view. There you go. All right. I agree. I did go cheap, but that's my budget for what I do. I just need a scope that's clear and is weatherproof, and the cheapest Leupold will give me all the shots on no shots beyond 300 for me. There you go. I have the cheapest Leupold on my 6.5 by 284 Norma. It's the American Marksman. I don't even think they're making it anymore. It's so cheap, and it's done fine on that gun. So, yeah. I've seen reviews that the Pro Ultra Max was actually pretty good, but I'll see the Dan Wesson brewing. The main reason I like is 16+1 capacity while the brewing is a single stack. True, but if those reviews must have been paid reviews that, Rock Island Armory sent them a nice gun, because the average person with the average Rock Island Armory of any level of quality of it doesn't get that. And I've thought about buying a Rock Island just to say I have one, and it didn't work, but see what happens. There you go. Dan Wesson Kodiak.
And for a cheaper price point, you'd be better off buying any Glock 10mm.
Absolutely, or Springfield XDM, in my opinion. Either one of those are better than the Rock Island Armory. So, and honestly, up here,
Gunsmith though.
Go ahead.
You talk to gunsmiths, though. The XD series is the most hated pistol amongst gunsmiths.
But there are a lot of people that don't like it. So, I've seen issues with them. I've seen issues with Glocks. So, I had one blow up on me. So, it's not.
You can see issues with everything.
Yeah, exactly. But when I would see more issues with Taurus and XD and other stuff, Smith & Wesson, than I ever would with Glocks. Like, so, Yeah, I would get the Kunin 1911, especially in the 357 Magnum. I've not seen a video where they've jammed. Let me know.
I haven't heard anything bad, but I've heard very little in general. Yeah, 357 mag, or don't they make one in 30 carbine?
Yeah, somebody does. I think it's them. It's a little bit longer barrel, like a 7-inch barrel or something like that.
I think either one of those would be pretty cool.
I agree. There you go. Hey, Chuck, how's it going in good old Alaska? Cheers from Melbourne, Australia. Hey, John, it's going well. Going well. It's good stuff. I'm sure it's morning there, so good to see you. Got to go to bed, or see you, Armin and Axis. See you later, brother. All right, 2A strong. My Taurus tracker was junk. I didn't like it. There you go. Do appreciate the feedback on the barrel length, and we'll adjust it. Yeah. The 9-inch barrel is fun if you were hunting. If you were hunting black bear with a 10mm over a food bait, yeah, I would use a 9-inch barrel over a bait station. If you were just carrying it for bear protection, absolutely not. I would never carry that for bear protection. So.
Yeah. That's too much to try to unholster.
Yeah. By the time you got out of the holster, you'd have 3 claws and some teeth in you. Best bear gun is Dan Wesson Kodiak 10mm auto. There you go. Yeah, here's the okay, is that it? The 10mm versus 40? I can't tell because I'm looking at this in StreamYard. So, yeah. Here's the Kentucky Patriot video on the 1,000 round Taurus link. Yeah. How's it going from the East Coast? Way different time zones. First time I've been up and saw you live. Relatively new gun owner here. Appreciate your work. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you have any questions, you let us know.
Cool.
Okay, there you go. I like both semi and revolver. Yeah, yeah. There are many times here in the wilderness I carry both. Every time I ride my 4-wheeler up the mountain, 45 Super on the chest, 357 Magnum on the holster. So,
I don't think there's a gun type I don't like.
What's that?
I said I don't think there's a gun type I don't like.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't like the screw in the back single shot, like the one that blew up in Kentucky Ballistics, where you have to screw in around on the back. I don't like those. I don't think they're It's not
Well, I mean,
because
you're getting to a specific model. I'm
yeah.
talking like, revolver, semi-auto pistol, bolt-action rifle, semi-auto
Right.
rifle, black powder rifle.
Well,
I
there are
mean, all
many.
the general types of
Yeah.
firearms.
I love break action single shots, but the screw in the back action single shot, no. Um, so I tell you what I really like are the
Why not?
Schofield break action revolvers. Why not? For what happened to
Oh,
Kentucky Ballistics. Before that, though, I was like, if this
it
ever
had nothing to
blew,
do with the gun.
no, it was all ammo. But if it ever blew, everything would come back at you, you know? And that's true in bolt actions in general, but not as true in a true bolt action is the screw on the back semi or single shot. So that's that.
I don't
Obnoxious
know
ones,
about that. I mean,
never.
as much steel as was sheared off between the threads and those ears, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it'd be that much different than the bolt lugs on the bolt action.
May not be. And that's why semi-autos are safer than bolt actions. If you ever have an overpressured round, it blows the top of the receiver off and not backwards.
Well,
Um,
semi-autos, sure.
yeah. So I much rather have like a 50 BMG or high pressure rounds like that than that. So I own 4 Glocks and they all run like a scalded ape. There you
They
go.
should. They
Yep.
should.
XDM guy here. Yeah, and only 4 Glocks. I got 7. You need to step your game up, Chris. Step your game up. That's what I'm telling you. All right. Yeah. Now you can tell your wife that you have an excuse to buy more Glocks. Where I live, we only have black bear and 10 millimeters considered enough for bear carry with proper loads. Yeah, and it is here in brown bear country too. Why did you choose 45 Super versus 460 Roller or some other caliber? Now this is a good question. When I was researching it, one of the cautions on shooting regular 45 ACP out of your 460 Roland, just like 38 Special out of 357 Magnum or 44 Special out of 44 Magnum, is that you'll build up a lot of gunk at the end of the chamber, and then your rounds might be pressed in there too hard. You can have a lot of pressure, kind of like shooting a lot of hard cast and 10 millimeter Glocks or something, stock Glock barrels. So there was that, and then the round count, the life of the gun. If you were to shoot, 45 Super has less pressure than 460 Roland, so the frame, you save a lot on the frame. That was the main thing. The second thing is if I wanted to convert it back and forth, I didn't want to have to put a muzzle brake on the end of it. I ended up doing it anyway to try to get it running right, but I didn't want to have to put a muzzle brake on the end of it because of the in 460 Roland does that. So I looked at getting an extended barrel and then ported for 460 Roland instead of having a muzzle brake. But then you couldn't run the 45 ACP without it gunking up in the chamber and head spacing on the extractor. In 45 Super, it is a 45 ACP chamber. 460 Roland is not. There's like a millimeter longer in the casing in 460 Roland, so that you can't chamber the 460 Roland in a 45 ACP. So that's that. So that's the reasons why. And I knew people that carried the ammo in town, and also people that hand loaded it for me. So, and I got some stuff to hand load for it eventually too. So, yeah. Pat RMG is a wheel gun guy that carried a G20 into the Montana bear country. There you go.
That's
Gauss
right.
rifle.
Grizzly bear country.
If you could have one revolver, what is your pick? Well, I have it. I love my GP100 357 Magnum. That would be my pick, the one I have. I love the Cerakote and all the job they did to it. If I had one revolver for bear country, it'd be the one Chuk has. It would be the 454 Toklat, Ruger Toklat. And I like my Smith & Wesson 629 Classic too. So, a Colt Python or an older Colt Python, that'd be a pick too. But that's me. All right. You're more of a revolver guy than I am, Rob. What's your pick?
I also have a GP100, and I do love it, but that is not my one revolver. Mr. Pat RMG, if I ever make it out to visit him, he better hide his 627, because if I don't have one by then, I might be trying to nab his off of him.
There you go.
That's it for me. Smith & Wesson 627.
There you go. Would you consider moose hunting around Kuskokwim and Yukon? Yes, I would. Absolutely. There's very good moose hunting out there. All right. I don't have the boat, the airplane to get flown out there and stuff like that. But yeah, I would consider it. I don't really have the time being a football coach and a school teacher, and that's right at the beginning of school. So yeah, I don't really have the time, but yeah, I would consider it for sure. I lived in Illinois when Springfield pulled their BS, and I knew a few mom and pop gun stores that were going to get screwed. There you go. Yeah, Springfield really screwed the pooch on that one. That wasn't a Pro 2A move. I like to carry semi, but the revolver's for plinking at the range. There you go. Whatever you shoot best is what you should carry in that. AAB, it's good to see you, man. Yes, I do. Going to buy a G26 for my birthday in August. Good. Happy birthday, man.
Nice.
Repeat. 357 SIG is even considered good here in Black Bear country. Yeah. With extreme penetrators. Yeah, I did a video on 357 SIG, Glock 32 with extreme penetrators. Great gun. So.
And here in Oregon, our black bear are so small, you really don't need very much. Our black bears are real small.
I had just come from the pound to pick out a dog, and I saw a black bear that I thought on the way home that I thought was a dog. It was small.
Wow.
Those of you who didn't know, my duck dog Maggie of so many years, we had to put her down. She went downhill fast. Right after her 11th birthday, we had to put her down. So, poor girl.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Been there too many times.
Yeah, I'm going to miss hunting with her. So we went to the pound and picked out a golden retriever border collie mix because we couldn't afford the $1,800 for a new puppy it is here in Alaska, you know. And yeah, I'm exaggerating, but there are people that want 1,800, but or 2,000 even, but there are people that you can get deals at like 1,100 or whatever. But I paid $350 for Maggie in Mississippi, so you know, as a full-grown puppy, I had her since a pup, so. We got a 4-year-old border collie golden retriever mix, so we'll see how he plays. His name was James, but we don't like that name, so we're trying to think of something else. He's black and got some white on him. He's pretty dog, really sweet, wanted to be in your company, you know. So I went this morning, and then I had to go to football practice, so my wife went and visited him and picked him up this afternoon with our other dog and Barrett to make sure that they could all work together. Because, you know, Barrett pretty much acts like a puppy, just gets into the trash, puts everything in his mouth, walks over to the dog food and tries to eat the dog food. So that's that. Too many, damn. No, there's no such thing. All right. All right. Hi, y'all. Let's talk about prepping. Yeah. Let's talk about prepping. I actually got a garden going. You got a garden going, Rob?
Yep. Got quite a bit of stuff coming up.
Yeah, I've got carrots and jalapenos and cauliflower and all sorts of squash and cucumbers, potatoes, blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. There's a strawberry and raspberry patch when we moved here, and now we're putting in our own. Because those are outside the fence, and I don't really want to be in bear country. And there's a pile of bear crap this big the last time I walked up on the trails behind our house. I mean, it had to be brown bear crap. And I don't really want to be walking in bear country or walking around my yard with berries all over outside the fence.
No,
you know, inside the fence, I can kind of pop out the 22 with the suppressor and have some black bear meat, you know. But
sure.
Outside the fence, not that I would do that. I'm just saying, wouldn't do that. But that's that. So maybe as a replacement, she can have the Dan Weston Titan Elite, double stack 15+1, and she can place a 5-inch barrel with a 6-inch. Pretty fancy gun too. Yeah, I'll go with that. Just leave it as a 5-inch gun though, or you know, maybe a 5.5-inch threaded barrel or something like that.
You couldn't go wrong with a Dan Weston. Every single one of them is hand built, hand fitted.
Yeah, they're
works of art.
It is spelled Wesson, just so you know. But yeah, I'm sure that's just a typo. So that's that. I'm dying here, man. There you go. All right. Yeah, one thing, I just lost my place. Here we are. My 627 is slicked up and ready. All right, River Red Hawk 454. That's a good one. Can't beat that. What's everyone's thoughts on accuracy for hunting? I'm satisfied with 1.25-inch groups for my ranges, but sub MOA does sound a lot better. I don't like anything less than 0.75 because I know I might extend it range.
I will.
So, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know I might.
I won't keep a.
Go ahead. You go first, Rob.
Sorry. I thought you had said. Sorry, never mind. Yeah, I won't keep a non-sub MOA gun. Period.
Yeah, I'm thinking about selling.
If I can't load for it and get it sub MOA, they're gone.
Out of here. I'm thinking about selling the Pika because I can't get it to shoot. But I've had some groups that are sub MOA. It's just not consistent.
Right.
So I had one group that was down near half an inch with 130 grain interbonds I loaded, and good looking bullet. And the next group is 1.75 inches. Like, it'd be one thing if it were half an inch and 1.1, half an inch, 0.75, half an inch, 0.9. That's normal shooter stuff, right? But when it's half an inch and then 2.4 inches, and then the next group's 1.75, no, it's out. I did have a consistent 1.25 to 1.4 in the Nosler petitions. The Nosler Accubons I loaded for it all over the place. Accubon long range. So I'm going to try a different powder for those. And I had shot my 338 Win Mag first and started flinching. And so that was part of the problem. But I'm going to try a different powder and stuff like that. I need to find some good 270 brass. So there's that. So I haven't got this Tika to shoot. It did get consistent groups of 1.1 edge to edge and 0.90 or 0.98 center to center with Barnes LRX, my favorite bullet. Factory stuff. Horrible standard deviation from the factory, as Barnes typically has because they're made by Remington. Horrible standard deviation, but my favorite bullet is that. So yeah, if it's not sub MOA, I've actually I was at my in-laws, and my brother-in-law's in-laws were there. His wife's parents were there, and I met them several times. They were over for Thanksgiving, and he's like, "You went brown bear hunting with your 6.5 by 284 Norma?" I go, "Well, I was mostly hunting black bear, but had one showing up. I'd have no problems ear-holing that thing." He goes, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, it's the most accurate. Why don't you take your 338 Win Mag? Because I can't get it to shoot accurately right now, and this thing's getting quarter-size groups, like 0.25 inches." He's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, accuracy is everything, man." So, yeah, I've been hunting with my 6.5 by 284 Norma because right now it's the most accurate rifle I have. It's better than my Bergara HMR right now. I haven't hand-loaded for the Bergara yet. We'll see when I put those 140 grain 6.5 Creedmoors through it. We'll see if those do any good. And my Bergara loves the factory Barnes LRX load. So I'm going to copy that load with the length and everything with two different powders and see how it likes the hand loads. I'm sure it'll do great. I love 357 mag. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it's a good round. It's fun to shoot.
It's my favorite caliber of all time. If I could choose one caliber forever, hunting, range, defense, everything, 357 all day long.
Yep. Nope, I have not shot the 4570 revolver by Magnum Research. I would not use it for bear defense because
I want to.
I want to shoot it. I think it'd be great for the channel and everything. So if you get one, you let me know. We'll go shoot it, 67 Rebel. But I would not use it for bear defense because it's single action. Yeah. No single action for bear defense. Got to be double action.
Yeah.
And the main reason for that is they don't make good holsters.
I would agree with that.
Besides it being slower, they just don't make good holsters for one-handed use. So, excuse me. I stay sub MOA for hunting. Absolutely. Agree with that. Yeah, I was face to face with a huge black bear 10 feet from me. We just looked at each other awkwardly for some seconds, and then I walked back into my house. He looked at you and goes, "Am I dinner?" And you looked at him and go, "Am I dinner?" And then y'all just walked away. There you go. Yep, and wrist still hurts. He shot it and the wrist still hurts. There you go. How's the deer hunting where you are? Deer hunting in Alaska, like they actually started having mule deer and whitetail come in from Canada, especially being so warm in the summer now. And so they've actually had mule deer, and they are shoot on sight. No closed season, no regulations. If you see them, shoot them. And the reason for that is they don't want chronic wasting disease getting into a herd of caribou that are herd animals. That would be absolutely catastrophic. So they are shoot on sight. So yeah. But they do have blacktail hunting on the islands in the coastal area, and blacktail deer are very small comparatively, even compared to the Oregon blacktail deer that you shoot, Rob. The second blacktail deer, yeah, they're even smaller.
Wow.
You guys can get better racks, and so I would say, even compared to that, they're a little small. So
wow,
is what
that
it is.
blacktail, they're like German shepherds.
Yeah, seriously. And not as muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So if you're a deer hunter, you know, what I liked about whitetail deer hunting when I lived in Georgia is, I lived on some land, the last place I lived. I could literally walk out the back door, or I could go drive to my hunting camp. What I liked about it is you could throw your backpack on. It wasn't an imposition. You could drag the deer out, go get it with the four-wheeler to where you dragged it to, and then it just was not an imposition. What I don't like is everything in Alaska is an imposition unless it's duck hunting. Duck hunting was the only thing that wasn't imposition, which is where I'm going to really miss my Maggie girl. Maybe this new dog will fetch ducks. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll invest in a puppy next year if we have to, or during the winter and try to get him ready, that kind of thing. But is what it is. So I love 40 Smith & Wesson personally. It's the ideal cartridge caliber for full-sized and duty semi-auto handguns. But 180 was always too heavy for 40 Smith & Wesson. 135 grain minimum and 165 grain max. But 150 grain is the best. Yeah, I agree with you. 165 grain should have been the max on that. Just because it's so, what's the right word? You had too much overpressure with 180 grain. It happened a lot. I didn't let you answer this question, Rob. How's the deer hunting where you are?
Good. I mean, we can hunt blacktail, whitetail, and mule deer here in Oregon, and I even have a friend that shot what we call a bench legger. So west of the Cascade Range, we have four species of deer. West of the Cascade Range, we have blacktail. East of the Cascade Range is mostly mule deer. Way over in the northeast corner of the state, we have eastern whitetail that have come in from Idaho and stuff like that. But then actually here in the Willamette Valley, we have a small pocket of what's called Columbian whitetail.
Okay,
and they were almost extinct. For a long time, you couldn't hunt them at all. And then just in recent years, they've started giving out controlled hunt tags for them in very extremely limited numbers. And it's a very isolated area in the southern Willamette Valley where they reside. So we actually have 4 deer species that we can hunt here. Blacktail are fun, but the terrain can be very very steep if you go into the Coast Range Mountains to hunt, and the cover can be very, very thick. And they're very spooky little deer that you snap a twig with, step on a twig and snap it. They don't stop running until the next county. Whereas a mule deer over in Eastern Oregon, you can spook them and they run about 50 yards and they turn around and go, "What was that?"
There you go. Well, then I need to go mule deer hunting with you. I need to fly down there. Do you have to get drawn for tags, or is that something we could over-counter the tag?
No, that's something you'd have to draw for.
Okay.
Any of the units that have mule deer are all controlled hunt units that you have to draw for. And then I was saying I have a buddy that shot what we call a bench legger right up at the peak of the Cascade range. There's a slight overlap between blacktail and mule deer, and a bench legger is a cross.
Gotcha.
They get the little short, stubby legs of a blacktail and the huge body of a mule deer, so they're built like a park bench. So we call them a bench legger.
Makes sense. That's a good name. I like it. Yeah. Okay, yo, please hit that like button. There you go. Appreciate it. Man, I'm experimenting with barley. Cool. I'm totally gluten free, so I can't do barley or wheat. But if you like it, good for you, man. Nice garden, man. Thank you. I'm gonna do a short video on my garden that I planted this year. I may put that out tomorrow. I may put a different one out tomorrow. I haven't even edited it yet, so apologies to my Patreon members. Yeah, here in North Carolina, the biggest black bear usually is 500 pounds. That's a big one for Alaska, too. They don't get much bigger than that. I've seen a huge one that I know is in the 500 to 600 pound range, but I'll get to that. I've got too many raspberries here in Michigan. No such thing. What is too many raspberries? There you go. When you're back in knees hurt from picking blackberries all day long. Why do you think 338 Federal is so uncommon? Seems like a really good hunting round. Because it was designed for an AR-10 to make it a little bit better for larger game than 308, and it's just a little bit better for larger game than 308. So you don't get the velocity needed unless you're using a 180 or even a 160 grain round for the 338, which they do make. I actually saw a 168 grain or 160 grain TTSX for 338 today in the store for reloading. And I was going to buy them, but I'm supposed to have a package come from some of the viewers who's sending me some. So I didn't buy them. I thought that would be a fun video. I mean, 3,400 feet per second with a 160 grain bullet. And that's hard to beat right there.
In the right conditions and right situations, you'll find 338 Federal not so uncommon.
Yeah. It's the
so like in Western Oregon, the Coast Range, we have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, before the crunch, we have plenty of 338 Federal on the shelf, and honestly, I think that's like an ideal Alaskan AR-10 because it's enough power versus a 308 for brown bear, but it's not rare like a 375 Raptor or a 358 Winchester or the new 500 Automax. It's like not rare like those. It's rare compared to 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor and 7mm 08, but it's not rare like those other rounds. It's common enough to find. So like I think it's a great round. If Just a Tool, you're the one. She's the one writing the book here. I'm assuming it's a she with the avatar. I guess I shouldn't assume these days, right? But anyway, it's like an AR-10 338 would be a great rifle for your character to carry or to have around. But they're going to have to hand load their own powder for it. So if you're researching this for your book, research what powders that, just look on Hornady's online manual. Hit me up on Instagram and ask me. I can look it up on the manual for you. In fact, I will look it up right now. But yeah, 338 is a great powder. Go ahead, Rob. You were going to say something. A great round.
So 338 Federal, it's a rather hard hitting round, but it's not good for any kind of distance. But in some places that is pretty okay. Like in Western Oregon, especially in the Coast Range Mountains, we have the biggest species of elk that there is. We have Roosevelt elk, and the cover and the terrain is such that unless you're hunting clear cuts, you're not going to have long range shots. And so something like 338 Federal is actually a rather viable cartridge, and there's a lot of people that carry it for that reason.
Yeah, that makes sense. So here's an issue with it. Hornady's reloading manual lists a 185 grain GMX. Okay, so 185 grain GMX, the fastest velocity with X-Terminator powder, TAC powder, or accurate 2230 powder or Power Pro 1200R is 2,650 feet per second. Okay, and so 2,650 feet per second is going to really, really be kind of low for that round. Now, I wonder what Barnes's 338 Federal data is. I might have to download this real quick. Barnes .338 Federal load data. Here we go. Download. Okay, they have a 160 grain. And it looks like with X-Terminator or A223 0, they can get 3,089 with the 160 grain. And their 185 grain they can get at 2798 is the highest. But the most accurate powder is only getting at 2572. And so 2572 is less than a 180 grain in 308. So that's the thing, is it just doesn't compare. The 210 grain TSX, they can only get it just below 2570 is like the highest with a 210 grain. And so with a 210 grain in 338 Win Mag, for example, I'm getting like 2750, 2800, maybe more than that. So it's just not getting the velocity for the bullets. It will reach out to 300 plus yards, but it's just not ideal. What do you think? And you had anything to add to that, Rob? Anything in your loading manuals?
I don't have them handy.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why. 6-point SPC and 338 Lapua Magnum should replace 5.56, 7.62, and 50 BMG in the militaries. Keep 50 BMG on vehicle mount only, and replace with DI short stroke piston non-reciprocating slide charging handle. Yeah, maybe. That would be pretty cool. The 6.8 SPC doesn't have the quite the drop they like. That's that. All right, but yeah, I don't disagree with you. I got the tab for dinner, and the total was $35.40. I couldn't resist, and I left a $10.30 tip. Total was $45.70. All right, I got you. And the weight just seems to be impractical carry for buried defense, especially heavy game loads. I don't know which one he's talking about. Billy, which one are you talking about? What gun? Oh, he's the one that shot the Magnum Research. Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, the 4570.
Yeah, 4570. Like, it's a cool gun, but it's a hunt bear over a bait station gun. It's not a bear defense handgun. So
Yeah,
there's that. There you go. Aren't some forces still testing 338 and 300 normal mag? Yes, they are. Okay. We have the world's biggest elk here on Vancouver Island. Roosevelt elk, named after Teddy Roosevelt, visited here to hunt elk. Yeah, there you go. All right,
that's the same ones here in Oregon.
Yep.
Yep.
I think y'all two can argue.
Basically, they live the same places. That if you find black-tailed deer, you find Roosevelt elk.
Cool. All right. Now, is that something I have to get drawn for too, or can I do over the counter tags with that? The elk.
For Roosevelt, you get over the counter in some units.
Okay. Is it likely to get an elk in those units, or?
If you want to go down into some really deep, dark canyons full of Himalayan blackberry and all kinds of just nastiness.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's rough. It's rough. I know some people that specialize in those coastal mountains. Roosevelt.
It's got to be easier than Alaska, where you got to fly to Kodiak Island to hunt elk and get ate by a brown bear while you're there.
Well, yeah.
There's that, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's actually got to be cheaper for me to fly to Oregon than it would be for me to get a plane ride, drop me off in a drop camp, like a Piper Cub, drop me off, plane type like that. It would be cheaper to fly to Oregon. You pick me up from the airport. I split the gas with you, and we go hunting. You know, than it would for me to be hunt elk in Alaska. even with the out-of-state license cost, which I'm sure is a butt in Oregon.
Wow.
And with Oregon have so many liberals
it's
in
pretty
the state
high.
government, I just don't want to spend any money supporting them. No offense. It's not your fault. It's just it's the Eugene
No,
and
I get
Portland's fault, you know. So
Portland.
Portland.
And you would have to fly into Portland, and then you'd get to see the cesspool.
Cool. Yeah, I've flown into Portland before, but I've always flown in and flown right back out. I've never had time to wait around.
Yeah.
Would be a great push.
Yeah, you don't want to spend time there.
Yeah. What would be a good push feed bolt rifle for hunting? No budget here. Be saving for a while. What do you think? I'm not very familiar with what controlled feed versus push feed is. So why don't you tell us the difference, Rob? And give us
I don't have any better answer than you do. I don't really worry too much about the feed. I just worry about the gun that works and shoots well for me.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I've never had an issue feeding with a bolt action, push or controlled feed. Never.
Me neither. Yeah, so I flat don't worry about it. It's not a factor for me.
Yeah, most people who have an issue with the bolt action don't pull the bolt all the way back far enough. That's what the issue is most of the time. What's your thoughts on the 6.8 Western caliber? Awesome. I think it's an awesome caliber. We don't have the guns here to test it. If somebody would send me a gun to test it, I'd do it. So, Brownies, put your.
I think on paper, I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it'll do its job on game. Yeah, it is what it is.
Thank you, Brownies.
Well, AB, what was the length of the barrel for 40 cal that got really high feet per second? I think you or Chook mentioned this. It must have been Chook. I've shot one 5.5 inch Springfield XDM, and it didn't actually get that great. I think it was my 3.7 inch SIG 239 with the 165 grain HSTs did really good. So that's that. I think you should consider making a Discord server. I'd definitely join that if you did. I'm on a few Discord servers. I just won't be participating that much in it. That's the issue. I just can't sit there and text on it all day. So the ones I'm on, people text on them all day. Slav Guns and Bullets and Bucks and Northwestern Gun Firearms, all those channels, which are great channels. Go check them out. They're texting on this Discord server all day, and I jump in like 3 times a week. I just don't have time. So, you don't have any range in the Anchorage Matsu area where you can draw from a holster. Yeah, you're allowed to at Birchwood. You just got to go be a member. So there's that. So, I'm thinking urban warfare, but yeah, urban warfare. Once you step out and you're fighting block to block, you're talking 400, 500, and 600 yards. People think urban warfare is all clearing apartments. Once you're on the street, you're 400, 500, 600 yards all the time. So, yeah, there is that. You got to think about that. Oh wait, one last thing. Good luck with the midnight sun up in Alaska. Hello. Yeah, seriously. There we go. These two. Yeah, controlled feed bolt guns aren't very spilled. No, but they supposedly put more reliability into feeding, but it doesn't really matter. But does 6.8 pierce armor than 5.56? Depends on if you have an armor piercer bullet in it or not. I would say not, but that's that. You know where a good rifle range is. I need to break my 300 PRC. 67 Rebel SST AMC. That's you that text me on Instagram, right? You have my phone number, I think. Text me. I'll tell you where. So, anyway, let me finish this. Why don't you go ahead and answer this one, Rob?
That doesn't really look like a question, just an opinion. If I could make the ideal handgun round, any cartridge caliber for semi-auto handguns, it'd be Hornady critical duty base, bottom half of bullet with the expansion of the HST and talons of Ranger and Underwood charged brass case. I don't think you got to get that complicated. There's already so many good defensive carry rounds without having to try to reinvent the wheel.
Agreed.
That's just my opinion.
There you go. I totally agree. Also, Telegram if Discord is not your thing. Okay. What's up? Yeah, there's that. All right, you should try a bear hunt with your 7 mag. LOL. I have. I've killed a bear with my 7 mag. I know. Here, fantasy folks. There you go. Fun. Cool. Well, anyway, what you got going on the channel, Rob? You got anything? I know you just released a Henry 41 Magnum video. That was pretty cool. I hadn't shared or commented on it yet, but so
yeah, I really enjoyed shooting that rifle a lot. You know, that they say the 41 Magnum is a good or a compromise between the 357 and the 44, but it is a whole lot closer to the 44 than it is 357. And then
yes,
you have it coming out of a 16-inch barrel. It was walloping the steel real hard.
Did you chronograph that?
Yeah, I loved it. You know, I'll shoot my little,
Did you chronograph that? Because I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't have a chance to watch the whole thing yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Okay.
I did not, but I am going to be doing a barrel length comparison.
Okay.
Between 41 Magnum revolver and that 41 Magnum Henry. I've got another Henry rifle coming up in a 44.
Nice.
I'm going to be shooting. I was actually scheduled to go down and shoot that Barrett 50 BMG this last Sunday, but because of the heat dome that they referred to it coming up, and it was 113 on Sunday, 117 yesterday, we chose to postpone until after 4th of July. So I will be having that coming up. I'm going to be possibly this weekend filming my entry into the Long Winding Road 100-yard pistol challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make it kind of interesting because I want it to be a long enough video to be worthwhile. So I'm going to do it with multiple handguns.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
So I'll probably 3 or 4 different handguns I'll do it with.
Nice.
So I got all kinds of stuff coming up.
Nice. Cool. I'm probably not going to enter that, but if I were going to do it, I'd take out my Smith & Wesson Victory 22 and do it. I know it'll do
it.
Hey.
It says any pistol.
Yeah. Look who we got. This
Jump
goofy
on it and do it. Huh?
We got this goofy looking dude here coming on. So
yep. Goofy for sure.
Yeah.
Pat, you gonna do that 100-yard pistol challenge?
What challenge are you talking about?
The channel is Long Winding Road, and it's 100 yards, any pistol you want, 3 rounds, cold, no ranging shots, no practice shots, 3 rounds on a was it a 12 by 20 silhouette.
Okay. What's the deadline?
I don't think he placed one, did he, Chuck?
I hadn't seen the video yet. I just saw the title. So
I'm planning on doing it with at least 3 different guns. I'm going to do it with a gun that I shouldn't have any problem completing the challenge with. I'm going to do it with a gun that I should have an extremely hard time completing the challenge with. And then another one I think will just be fun and interesting.
Okay. Well, as much as I would like to keep this going on, guys, it's been 1 hour and 30 minutes, and Pat just got here. But it's time for me to go. I got a lot of stuff going on at the house tonight. Got a new dog, and the baby's screaming, and the dinner's happening, and all that jazz. So, and I got to edit tomorrow's video. So, got to do what got to do. So, anyway, that's that. 22 LR is just as good as 223. Absolutely not. That's crazy. Cough Military Arms Channel.
What
I
did
don't
he
know why
say?
he said 22 LR is just as good as 223. Absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So anyway, will you be
yeah.
moose hunting with Chuk this year, or is he going to Asia again? No, I try to avoid hunting with Chuk as much as possible. I like my life. No, he's all right. Our schedule don't work out a lot. All right, guys. Have a good night, y'all. Take care. God bless.
See y'all
We'll
later.
see you. No, he was joking. Yeah, he was definitely joking about the 22 to 23.